Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the book Four Queens, The Provincial Sisters Who Ruled Europe, and by Nancy Goldstone. And I really wanted to like this book. I had read a novel about the Provincial Sisters. If you don't know who the Provincial Sisters are, there is Margaret of Provence, who became Queen of France, Eleanor of Provence, who became Queen Eleanor, wife of Henry III, Beatrice, who became Queen of Sicily, and Sanchia, who became Queen of Germany. And I really wanted to like this book because I didn't know too much about the Provincial Sisters. I did read a novel back in the day about them, and that was really interesting. So I wanted to get a biographical taste of what happened during this time, and this book was really boring. You couldn't really tell, because I like books where I can kind of tell and see how time passes, and I didn't really get this, and it got kind of confusing. I liked seeing how the time passes, because without that gets really confusing, and this didn't have a lot going on. In this book, there was a lot of crusades, and Margaret has to deal with her mother was Blanca de Castilla, and her mother-in-law was Blanca de Castilla, and they didn't get along. Blanca de Castilla still wanted power in her son's life, and Marguerite was pretty much shifted to the side, while Blanca de Castilla was still alive. And I really wanted to like this book, and it took me a long time to read it. I think I downloaded it like 2 weeks ago, and it's not that long of a book. It is only 10 hours and something minutes long, so not that long for an audiobook. And it just took me, I had to kind of force myself to read it, or listen to it in audio, and there was just a lot of the same stuff going on. There was a lot of crusades, which should be exciting, but they weren't. And then, I don't know, the passage of time wasn't that good for me, like I said before. And one thing that I found really good, and I found this really good in the novel I read back in the day as well, is the beginning of the book. They talked about their family lives, the four Provincial Sisters' family lives, and it was kind of droned into their head that by their mother, that family does matter, and that really did stick with them throughout their life. You protect your family, and you do what's beneficial for your family. And that really seemed to have stuck with them through their lives, and really kind of shaped the course of medieval Europe, which I found, that part I did find interesting. And I found it interesting that even though they were in the time period that they were in, their mother, Beatrice of Savoy, wanted them to be raised like sons, and wanted them to rule, expected them to rule in a time where women really didn't have any power. And that I found interesting for the time. And another thing that I have to say is that some of these queens didn't rule very long, so it's mainly about Marguerite, and Eleanor, because the two sisters, they did not reign for very long. They didn't live very long. Eleanor and Margaret lived to be in their 70s and 60s, but Beatrice and Sanchia did not. They died really young. So this book, even though it's entitled Four Queens, it's mainly about Eleanor and Marguerite. So yeah, so this book was not one of my favorites, and I read and I looked up other books by her, and they do seem interesting. But I don't know if I want to read. I don't know if I want to sit through another audiobook again by her. And maybe it's because I'm already reading about. I'm reading about From Splendor to Revolution, which is also about 4 women during the Romanov dynasty. So maybe that's why. But that shouldn't have anything to do with it. I just did not like this book as much. I had to force myself to read it. So if your opinion differs from mine, let me know what you think about this book. I really, really want to know. And it is available on Audible if you want to get it that way. So let me know what you thought about the book. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.